Yeah! Yes! We did it. We made it. We might not have made it to all the places that we intended to, but we're here somewhere. Certainly at shifthappensradio.com, ladies and gentlemen. And, yeah. Boom. Usually we don't, we do one show a week. I do some other shows, but here we are on Shift Happens, the night after last night. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Doing it again. For this time, we've got one of our favorite guests for you guys here. Give me a second here. I just want to make sure not everything is exploding all at once. I don't know. So we're here promoting the Fringe FM radiothon. That's right. Over 24 hours of straight broadcasting, non-stop. Whether it's Joe Roop or Alex Exum or Ryan Gable or Jess Rogie or me, somebody's been on the mic this whole time, and now it's my turn. So here we are. How you guys doing? Listen, follow the show over on Twitter at ShiftHappensPod. Or just go to shifthappensradio.com. All of our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the things. All of the things. They're all over there. Go check it out. And, we're raising some money for the Fringe FM tonight. We could definitely use your support. So just go to www.fringe.fm. And you can donate in quite literally every way I've ever heard of. I mean, they really have it covered. Vimeo, PayPal. I think there's even some Bitcoin going on. Patreon, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of ways. Whatever way you have to pay, they will accept it. So there you go. But yeah, that's about it. Just filling in a couple hours here. Quite late on a Saturday night. Which might be interesting because, you know what I should do? Actually, hold on. Give me 1 second, folks. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that either. But, yeah, it's all good. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, certainly no stranger to the show. We've had him on several times. One of our good friends. We have great times, whether it's contact in the desert or out in the middle of nowhere in the desert or any sort of desert-related thing. This guy's usually there making some stuff happen. And he's the host and producer of eTalk TV. And you've heard him on several shows, not only on this network, but several others as well. The one, the only, Jeff Renel. What's happening, my friend? Oh, is this really happening right now? Oh, yeah, we can't hear you, buddy. I thought we fixed that. Well, maybe things happen for a reason. I don't know. He says hello, everyone. Even though you can't really hear him. It's weird. Yeah, we were just doing a sound check earlier, and everything was good, but it wasn't working. So we just, we shut everything down. We reopened everything the exact same way it was, and then all of a sudden it worked again. But now it's not working again. So, I don't know. What do you think? Well, I guess I could still keep the show going while we hang up and try this again. Do you want to do that again? Okay, let's go ahead and do that, Jeff. All right, so I'm going to hang up on Jeff, and I'm also going to hang up on Skype listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't trust Skype with anything. If you have stock in Skype, you are going to lose your entire living. Definitely do not do that. But okay, let's pull this back up. And, gotta love live stuff, right? This is the kind of stuff that happens. Let's see, audio and video. Everything is set specifically correctly. So if this doesn't work, not sure what to tell you guys. Maybe I could just sit here and tell jokes for 2 hours. I don't know. We'll see. But okay, let's go ahead and give Jeff Renel another call. And, all right. So Jeff has answered. Can we hear you, Jeff? Damn. Really? No. Are you sure? What did your go to? Not your computer preferences, but Skype specific preferences. Go to those. And are you sure it has the right device selected? Do 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 do. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Oh, wait, what about now? Hold on, Jeff. Give me a check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
There we go. All right, we got it. Yeah, no, I think, actually, I don't understand what that was. But for some reason, I hit a button that doesn't do anything ever, and that actually worked. So there we go. So we're live now, my friend.
Well,
we're
now
live
it's
now.
purpose.
And the one person that knows that we're live is in the chat room. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I don't know. So much for raising money for the network.
Are we on the Fringe, or did Joe fall asleep?
We probably will be at some point, but as of right now, nobody knows that we're really on here. So yeah, it's all good though. But what have you been up to, Jeff? I know you got some pretty grandiose plans going on. I'm not sure if you're ready to, spill all those beans, but we got some cool stuff happening later this year or maybe next year, huh?
Yeah. There's just been some fun stuff going on now that we can start to get back to our normal lives and stuff, and have a little bit of fun. We've been out there. Brad's been around a couple times this year, so we went out and had some fun. Just got a chance to go up to Ryan Burns' place, the Skywolf research area out there by Skinwalker Ranch, and got to spend a few days out there, which was pretty fun. And yeah, we've been running around doing quite a few different things this year. Went up by Little Alien, up by Area 51, hung out there for a while with Eric at Awakening Man, Michael Jaco, and a few other people. So yeah, it's been a fun year. Yeah, me and Brad's done a few different things. When he came up here, we went to Ted Bundy's, one of Ted Bundy's place, where he unfortunately did some mass murdering, which was pretty interesting. Took my cameras out there and stuff, but didn't really pick up any orbs. And then I'm not sure if we talked about it before, but we went to a place called Gravity Hill here in Utah, where the gravity actually goes uphill, and that was pretty interesting. Me and Brad were in my car, parked it at the bottom of the hill, and it started rolling uphill, and it probably rolled up to about 5 miles an hour going uphill. I'm going to go back out there because the cameras I took, I didn't get good footage with, but I'm going to take some other ones out there now that I know what I'm dealing with, and get some better footage for you guys.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, I always hear, we obviously have a lot of mutual friends, not only us, but several of my other friends in this business, and it's like every time I talk to somebody, it's like, Yeah, I was in Massachusetts, and we went to Red Lobster, and Brad Olson was there, and he just seems to be everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Whether it's Antarctica or the El Paso Waffle House or you name it, he's everywhere.
Yep,
Absolutely
he
amazing.
is the world traveler for sure. Matter of fact, he just texted me yesterday and said he is coming back through Salt Lake City here in a couple of weeks. So he's going to come through, and we're going to find some mischief to get into, but I'm not sure what we're going to do yet.
You know, it'd be really fun for all the people that are not listening right now. Would be if we just called Brad. What about that? We just call him right now.
We could. I don't know where he's. I think he's in Colorado. I don't know what time it is there.
You know what? Why
Do
don't
you
we
got
do
his
this?
number?
Why don't we do this? Let's do. So me and Cortana used to do what we called Skype roulette, and we would just go live, and just call the most random person we could think of, and try to add them on the show. Then one time we called. I don't know if you remember Chuck Fay. Did you ever get to meet Chuck Fay out there from Hong Kong? He does like the one UFO show out there. He's like a big deal out there, and but I don't know. Anyway.
I think I did meet him at. Wasn't he at? God, no, I
Contact.
can't think of the name. It's been so long. So, what's the one UFO conference we go to?
Well, there's a
Contact
few,
in the
but
desert. Wasn't
but
he at Contact a
yes,
couple years
he
ago?
was
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
absolutely. And last time we called him, he had just accidentally broken a shelf right when we called him, and so that was fun. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead. Let's see. All right, chatted 6 months ago. Okay, we're gonna add Brad Olson to the call. This could go very well. This also could go terribly. Let's see. Let's see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen, for the Fringe FM radiothon.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, and the toes. Don't forget the toes.
I would think he would still be up.
Yeah, no, he's. I have a feeling he's not. Yeah, no. Not only did he not answer, he ignored the call. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's what we'd like to see here on these live shows. Um,
I actually think he's with his family too, if I remember correctly, but I'm not 100% sure.
yeah, he could be. He could be. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So we had you on the show not too long ago, right? Like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I would have to say, yeah, about a month or maybe 2 months ago. It wasn't too terribly long ago.
Right. So have you seen the? So I actually had Race Hobbs on the show yesterday, and we got into quite a bit of a discussion about, all and I know we talked about this too, but a little more has happened since then, and that is, all the UFO stuff in the mainstream news, which. Just as equally and oppositely, there's been other forces on the other side of the fence, like Stephen Greer, who, interestingly enough, told us a few years ago that this is how they were going to come out about it. But Stephen Greer is. I mean, I don't really. Let's just say I sit on a lot of fences. I like to listen to both sides and hear what everybody has to say, and just kind of take it from there. So we obviously know the mainstream side, right? Whether you're watching Fox or CNN or MSNBC or whatever, right? And, you're seeing Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp and Luis Elizondo and everything else. But the one thing they keep saying is, this is a threat. That's their whole spin on it, right? Like, this is there's these things zipping around that can outmaneuver us like Michael Jackson on a holiday, and we can't do anything about it. And so they take it as a threat. But then you have guys like Stephen Greer who I don't know, have you seen his new documentary that just came out like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
No, I sure haven't. I'm not a huge Stephen Greer fan.
Neither am I. That's why I watched it.
Was it good? I mean, I don't discredit him or anything like that. I've just never really been a fan of what he's been talking about and stuff. So, but I don't know. Was it good?
Well, I mean, it was interesting, I would say, because one of the main features was Danny Sheehan. I'm sure you know Danny Sheehan, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Sheehan, for those of you. Yeah. So it's interesting because, here's Daniel Sheehan taking a huge part in this Stephen Greer documentary, talking about how the whole threat thing is a big misnomer, and they're not a threat. Like, there's no proof of that. But yet, at the same time, he's literally the new attorney for Luis Elizondo, and his whole thing is that they are a threat. So, you can't, which one is it? That's what really caught my eye between hearing both sides of the story, is Daniel Sheehan's on both sides.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, because I definitely respect him. I think he's a very intelligent man and has a lot of great things to say. Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, me personally, I don't think they're a threat. I think any rational thinking person can take a look at it and realize they've been here for a long time, a lot longer than our civilization has been here. And if they haven't taken us out yet, who's to say all of a sudden they're just going to help out, the Dems and, coming and invading us right at that right time for them to distract. So I think it's just a distraction thing. It's just, it's very interesting that they're picking this time to be able to come out with this information. I 100% think it's a distraction tool.
Yeah, but what are they distracting us from? That's the real question.
Well, I think that takes us out of the UFO talk, but I think, they're distracting us from all the information coming out right now in the world, with the election, with Fauci, with this whole pandemic. They need to create some type of distraction to try to distract, the people, so they don't get all the information. At least that would be my say in the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think, just to take a step or two or three or four or five back, just looking at face value, it is kind of interesting that this is being covered at all, much less in the mainstream news. And I'm not sure how much the Congress pressured the Pentagon to releasing that UAP task force report, which, that report was based on all the different intelligence agencies' research into this subject, which, again, according to a lot of people, was very rushed. They didn't have enough time to get everything together, not to mention, God knows what they left out, right? But, I don't know. Here's the most interesting thing about the UAP task force report is, ironically, not the report itself. What happened 1 hour after Congress got the report from the Pentagon, all of a sudden the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Defense put out a mandate to every agency, and we're talking everything from Coast Guard to Navy to local police to any sort of authoritative group, and they put out this memorandum, and she was like, so, because the report, right, like we were able to look at like what was it, 9 or 12 pages, right? Meanwhile, there was like 68 other pages that were redacted that we didn't get to see, right? So apparently, whatever was in those other 50 or 60 pages that we didn't see, the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Defense, it freaked her out enough to where she made a mandate that anybody in the Air Force or the Marines planes or Coast Guard or even police, like, you have to report any UFO sighting, and you only have 2 weeks to do it. And to put that in perspective, if they find out that you saw some shift and you didn't report it within 2 weeks, you actually are going to get in trouble now. So that's really interesting. And that only makes me wonder what was in those other 50 or 60 pages that we were not shown, you know?
Yeah, that is interesting, but could they be using that more for a fear factor too? I mean, just creating that statement would make your regular public start to fear, be more in fear. And I think that's one thing that they're using with this is creating that fear aspect. Um, you know, I to me, I don't have there's no threat there with the aliens as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if they would have wanted to threaten us, they would have did it already. They could have took us out a long time ago. So I really don't think there's any threat there. The only threat I could say that they can honestly say is that, yes, our technology cannot compete with their technology. So if they wanted to do something, definitely they're a threat, but they could have did it a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Hold on, okay, so it's just been brought to my attention. There's a bunch of people that are wondering where we are. I'll just go ahead and do this. You can catch us live at Shift Happens Radio. .com. All right, there you go. Sorry, folks. Sorry, not sorry. Did my thing. Here I am. Not sure what went wrong, but here we are. But yeah, I don't know. It's another point that. Well, let's see. Who did make this point? I can't quite recall, but several people have made this point, and that is that there has certainly not been any lack of UFOs in the news. This is the most it's ever been in the news. But the difference is there's also a pandemic going on. So I guess the point is, if all this UFO stuff came out at any other time in history, this would be the biggest news in the world. But it's not, because people are still tripping about coronavirus, so it kind of gets overshadowed. And I don't know, that could, obviously there's an effect on that, right? But I don't know about you, but I feel like the whole corona thing is, I don't know, kind of dying down. Am I allowed to say that? I'm not going to get canceled, am I? For saying that?
I think in my world it definitely is. Because I'm out in Utah, so we lost our mask mandate a long time ago. So for me, my world has got back to normal. But I know out in Las Vegas, where I'm from, I've talked to my family out there, and they brought back the mask mandate because this Delta variant that they have, along with California, which I'm sure you're aware of. So of course they're going to try to push this new variants and stuff like that so they can start to push their agenda some more. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I think even the public are at the point now where they understand what's going on with this pandemic and what they've been fed. So it's going to be really interesting, I think, if they push this Delta variants. But I agree with you. Yeah, any other time in history, this would be huge news, all the stuff that they're divulging right now. But I also think it's, the public was more than aware that this stuff existed. So to see it finally on the news, I don't think is a huge shocker to most people, especially with everything else they're dealing with. So they're not making a big deal of it because there's so many other things going on in life that we, unfortunately need to put our energy towards at this moment. So it's one of those great things that are just on the side that, it's like interesting. What are your thoughts on it, though? Because you talk to a lot of different people. So what are your thoughts on it? Why do you think that they're doing this at this moment?
I think, that's
Turning the mic on you.
yeah, I feel the pressure right now. Yes. No, I think, I don't know. Something doesn't add up. How about that? Something does not add up. Honestly, I kind of, as much as we both just talked about, in fact, me and Race made fun of Stephen Greer last night as well. But I don't know. There might be something to what he's saying. I guess
What is he saying exactly then?
one thing you have to give credit to, quote, Doctor Stephen Greer for is, I'm sure he's a doctor, but he did call this shift out like 20 years ago. Like he really did talk about this, and by that I mean specifically the way that it's being spun in the mainstream media. It's being spun as this big threat, which, I mean, I don't know. Again, we played both sides of the cards last night. We talked about each, both sides of the table, so to speak. But if whoever these people / beings / whatever they are, they obviously can do zips and loops and circles around our most highest tech advanced aircraft, and they don't even show any sort of exhaust or any sort of propulsion. Like, they don't even have a heat signature. These things are just zipping around, breaking the laws of physics. And that's why I kind of, I do listen to what Stephen Greer has to say, because he's the only guy that's kind of saying, like, hey, like, they're not a threat. And plus, if they were, wouldn't you think, like, I don't know, they could have destroyed this world a million times over by now. But for some reason, they just kind of seem to just observe and just kind of hang out. And when they get chased, they just kind of zip away. So there's that. But
let me ask you this. If they were to make their presence known here at this time and place, and they came through with the administration that's currently in power right now, how would you feel about it? Would you be trusting of the extraterrestrial race that just popped up on the scene and saying, hey, we're going to help you? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't trust. I mean, well, I guess what I was about to say is, I mean, I can only imagine that there's, for one, more than one species of aliens, right?
Yep.
I guess the only real mystery is, for some reason, the planet Earth seems to be the center of attention. That's the mystery. Why are these people coming from everywhere to monitor this? So that is a mystery. But at the same time, I tend to imagine that just like, same thing with the human race. Like, yeah, we're all the human race, but then we have Nazis, we have ISIS, we have terrorists, we also have Christians, and so to assume that aliens in general are just negative is kind of silly. But at the same time, to kind of go against Greer here, to assume that they're all positive, that's just as silly. Like if we've learned anything from nature, and especially the evolution of the human race, you get some bad apples. You know what I mean? And every once in a while, a bad apple just so happens to be the prince of Persia or whatever. Next thing you know, he's got $700 trillion. And, what I'm saying is the same thing could easily be happening with these. I guess the one thing that is not a question is we are being visited by somebody. And for some reason, somebody actually cares about what's happening here, which is, I don't know.
Well, and that's a good question too. Why do they care?
Why do they care?
Are we like their species? Did they help create us? What it says in the Sumerian texts and stuff? Are they benevolent beings that are watching over us and making sure that we don't demolish ourselves? Why are they interested in us? That is a good question, I think. And I think you're right on the money there. I think, when it comes to any type of race or any type of race of beings and stuff, you're going to have your good and the bad. I mean, we can see that within animals and stuff like that, just having our own pets. You can see some that have more of a mischievous attitude than others that are just really soft and quiet. So I think it would be stupid for us to think that they're all either benevolent or all malevolent on that aspect and stuff. So I think you're 100% correct there that you would have that variance just in one race itself. But I also believe too, if you get to that point of an evolution in a race, I think you do start to lose that feeling of hate and stuff. You have to evolve past that. Otherwise, I don't think as a species you would last that long. I think you'd kill each other off, kind of like it looks like we're, in the process of doing at this moment, even though I don't think we will. But, when you don't have that balance of love, it's kind of hard to keep evolving as a race, if you would agree. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I just think, I don't know. I think not only is this, life on this planet so much more strange than we give it credit for. Like, for example, we still don't know what the hell is going on in the Congo. After all these years, we've been to Mars, we've been to the moon, we still don't know what's in the Congo. You know what I mean? There's some stuff going on out there. Obviously, a lot of Bigfoot people. Pretty big into that. But at the same time, it's just...
Well, and like we were just talking about it a little bit ago, but me and Brad, we were at the Skinwalker Ranch area and observing that. And there's so many crazy stories going on around that area from the locals and everything like that. There's a portal right there. So if they're totally benevolent, or I'm sorry, not benevolent, but had an evil tendency to them, I think we would see a lot more stuff happening to human beings and stuff. They talk about the skinwalkers being there, which is amazing tales, and not that I doubt it one bit, but where are all the mutilated humans and stuff like that? Are they taking them all and hiding them away? I don't think so. It'd be very interesting to see. So I think we got to look at stuff like that when we're looking at, are these benevolent? Are they mischievous? What kind of beings are they? Because I know you've heard of a lot of the different stories at Skinwalker Ranch, and I sit there and look at, especially being there, and it's like, okay, should I be scared? How should I be feeling while I'm there? And, again, I'm looking at it and I don't see stories of them attacking people. And that's one thing I would like to research and find out more about. But there's something going on there. They could be attacking us. They could be. I mean, I do believe that there is some, some snatching, abduction going on out there. There is no doubt about that. But you know what I'm saying? I think there would be more. We would see more and hear more about things happening to human beings than what we already have been. I would believe, because there are some really crazy places in this world.
There really are not only crazy places, but crazy things that are happening that yeah, I don't know. Don't want to say too much. And like Elfman just said in the chat room, still don't know bleep about the oceans. That's right, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. We're sending Elon Musk's half cousin out there to Mars, yet we're not. We don't even know what's under the ocean yet, and which is very interesting to me. In fact, Russ Bailey, good friend of ours, he's the new host of Beyond the Strange, and he posted a really cool video today in the Beyonders crew on Facebook, which is a Facebook group there, Beyonders Crew. Go check it out. Russ Bailey posts all kinds of great stuff all the time. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, anybody in the chat room, or you, Jeff, or anybody listening. For some reason, we have a bunch of people in the chat room, even though we're not on the actual thing. So somehow they found out. But yeah, you guys definitely go check it out over at the Beyonders Crew on Facebook. There's a video of a very clear military jet chasing an object in the sky that is outpacing it with no problem. And this lady just filmed it with her little iPhone, like from her front porch. And it's so obvious. It's like, wow, like there's a jet plane following this thing and it cannot catch up to it. And yeah, I don't know. It's every day you think you know something, you think you know what's going on. The next day, turns out you don't know anything. And,
Yeah, wait. I mean, it's going to be exciting if they actually do reveal themselves and how our world's going to change. This existence will change so drastically if they ever do reveal themselves to us. The technology that we'll be able to get, and how will it all operate? Will they then be leading our world here, or will we still be in charge? It'd be an interesting time.
yeah, I don't know. I guess the real question is, I think the real question is, like, why do they like, I don't know, like, think about it. They're so much more technologically advanced, right? Like they can just run circles around our best military jets, right? Why are they, you look at things like Rendlesham Forest and the stuff that happened in Russia. I don't know. Why would they care? Like, they're obviously so much more better off than we are, and they're doing their own thing. And for some reason, they're going out of their way to tell us, like, hey, you probably shouldn't shoot yourself in the face, for lack of a better term. Like, if we're that stupid, we should probably, just
Shoot
let us
ourselves
be
in the
stupid
face and get it over with.
Yes, exactly. But meanwhile, we have these ETs coming down here and be like, hey, you're not that stupid. You actually could do this if you want. And I'm just wondering why they actually care. Like, I don't know. Why do you think that they care so much?
I think, well, it can be a lot of different things. To me, I look at it this way. I look at it what I understand in my own spirituality and just what I've learned about myself. And when I learned to love myself, I learned to love the things around me, and all of existence. And so I think if you're an evolved species, you're going to understand the trials and tribulation of other beings and what they might be going through. And when you have that compassion and understanding, you're going to, of course, be there to try to help them out and assist them in whatever way you can, but also understanding that you have to keep some distance and not put your fingerprint, in on their growth and their evolution. I think. I mean, one, if I was an evolved species and stuff, I would look on it. I would leave another group alone and wouldn't even touch them, because they could understand and create things that we might not ever even think of, because they're in a whole different environment. So me personally, if I was a species looking down on another planet, I would kind of just let them be. And I would, again, if I was an evolved species, I would assist in which ways I can to allow them to grow, but again, to allow them to have their free will, just like it seems like is going on this planet as well too. Because you got to sit there and wonder why, if there is all these negative things and evil things happening on this planet right now, why aren't they stepping in for the benevolent human beings on this planet and making sure that they're not taken advantage of? I think it all has to go back again to free will. And even though you might want to step in, when you understand free will and that love and compassion, you can't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. But no buts. Yes. Makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. But yeah, I know. There's some other things that I don't know. I feel like us human beings are in this sort of undeserving not knowing. So, the best we try to understand what's actually happening, we're probably not even close.
No.
Probably not anywhere near close. But yeah, I don't know. And again, that's what makes me wonder. All of a sudden, the government seems so sure. Well, here's one point I made yesterday. Well, I don't know, Jeff. Did you actually read the? I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but did you actually read all of those? 12 pages that they actually gave us from the UAP task force report they got sent to Congress?
No, I sure haven't. I've been doing a lot of other things, so that was one thing I haven't got around to doing.
Well, let me tell you, the Chuck E. Cheese menu is way more exciting than what was told there. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't want to bust any bubbles here, but at the same time, I do want to say it's
Hey, I got another question for you. If this is all revealed, what are all of us going to do?
That's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, like what do you?
We're going to find a new career or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I could find some shift heads to entertain every here and there if this doesn't work out. But,
Yeah, there has to. I mean, once we start to get some answers, it's just going to create more questions for sure. But if we have an evolved extraterrestrial race helping us out, then they're filling in the blanks for us. So it's I think it'll be very interesting. I hope I'm living in that time that we get to see this happen, or at least in one sense, I'm hoping. The other sense is, again, who do we know is going to be running us if they do come and divulge themselves? Are they going to be totally benevolent? Are they, a race that might be manipulating and helping that the dark side? We have no idea what we're going to be getting until it's, of course, probably too late. So, enjoy the lives we're living right now is what I would say.
yeah, and it's I don't know. Anybody in the chat room, shout out if you feel me when I say this. Because one of the first things that came out after the UAP report, like the main thing that was reported, well, I guess there were several main things, but the first main thing that was actually discussed was the fact that the Pentagon came to the conclusion that whatever these things are, they are definitely not ours. Like, they admitted, like, yeah, no, we don't know how to do that, right? Which is really interesting because, the next two questions that come after that, well, is it Russia or is it China? And it's like, well, you know what? I'll save my China joke. But same thing with Russia, though. Like, if any one of us had that technology, do you think that America would still be running the show? I know that sounds kind of, yeah, save your booze. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, you gotta wonder, what are they trying to put out there by saying that?
I mean,
Because that's a
yeah.
huge statement, saying that it's, of course, again, nothing from this earth, and that we don't have that type of technology. It's way beyond us. For our government to start to say that is a pretty big statement. And what are they trying to get across to us? Are they
Well,
trying to again create that fear factor? Are they using it to deflect? Are they truly trying to give us information? It doesn't seem like that to me, because most of the stuff that they're divulging to us feels more like a fear factor type of information that they keep giving us, because they are making statements like what you just said. So it's very interesting on what the stuff that they are divulging to us, and it is laying a kind of a map for us, but can we see what's actually being shown to us right now? I think it's very interesting. I do think that they're using it and starting to create that image so that they can use it when it is the appropriate time. And are they going to use it for a false flag and an alien invasion? What are they using it for? That's the question.
yeah, and yeah, it's just like I kind of said before, it's like, okay, the first thing they said was it's not ours, which in my mind, my skeptic mind, the first thing I thought when they said that was, oh, that's definitely ours. Then that's exactly what they don't want people to know, right? And
That's true too.
yeah, it could be, right? It could be. There's so many different perspectives on this that could be true. And that's what's so interesting about this. And just like you or me or anybody on this network or any other network, we've this last month and a half or so, we've heard, whether it's Richard Dolan or shit, even Richard Allen Miller or whoever, everybody's got. And it's so interesting because I respect all these different people, especially doing this for so long. But, there's not 18 different answers. You know what I mean? There's obviously only one. And, it's just kind of interesting to think, like, what's actually happening? Like, what's really going on?
Well, we might find out pretty soon.
I hope so. I hope so. Oh, by the way, I wanted to give a huge shout out to. Oh, I thought that was somebody else. Okay, never mind. You're good. I was about to lay the smack talk on somebody, but that's a friend of mine. That's all good. But yeah, no. So I guess the next Pentagon report to Congress is what, 180 days from last month, right? So that's quite a while, and that's actually even more interesting. Is what kind of people are going to come out and say what kind of stuff, whether it's Tom DeLonge, which by the way, his band kind of sucks, and whoever else, they've all got equal opportunity for these next 180 days. But I don't know if you had to give any prediction, Jeff. Like, I guess the question is, are we going to hear something new during the next report after it's been 180 days, or are they just going to do another, we didn't do enough research and we're going to have to do another 180 days? I don't know. Which one do you think? And if it is the first one, what do you think they're going to say?
I don't think they're going to give us any more juicy information. They're just them admitting that is pretty juicy, I think. But I don't think we're going to get anything more. I think it'll just be more of a smoke screen, mainly because I do believe that they're using this for some type of tool, and I think that's the only reason they're divulging this information right now. So I think they'll just keep leading us on and giving us a smoke screen until it fits their agenda and they're ready to do something else. And then, of course, the information that comes out, most of the information that comes out through there, I just don't, put a lot of belief into. I just don't trust what the government's telling us right now. So whatever they come out with, I think we should have a lot of skepticism towards and understand what they're trying to tell us. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more information. I think they're just using this as a tool.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. I'm right there with you. And
especially the Tom DeLonge. I mean, I really appreciate what he's done and all of that. And I really do like what they showed with Unidentified on the History Channel and everything. But ever since that group was organized, I feel that they're just being kind of strung along to, again, feed us the information they want to feed us. And, unfortunately, I think Tom DeLonge stepped into a place to where he could, get fed that information and then feed it out to us and, give us the agenda they want us to believe. So yeah, I've never looked highly into that group.
In all honesty, I think his haircut attracted a lot of the wrong people. But yeah, no, he's actually, whether you like him or not, he's actually, him and TTSA, they, a lot of people like to say they didn't do shift, right, over these last few years. But I think we kind of forget that the original break of the 3 UFO stories came out, what was it, the New York Times and and whoever else, that was their company. Although they promised to do a lot more that they never did, let's not forget what they did do.
Was that more Lou than it was Tom DeLonge? Because didn't I can never say his name right, Lou Elizondo or whatever his name is, didn't he have that released before he got out of ATIP? That's what I always understood. So it really wasn't Tom DeLonge and the group getting those videos released. It was just Elizondo, Lou, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And plus, you know what? I had a whole nother bash for Tom DeLonge. I'm just going to not do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take... We're going to take... we already skipped one commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, just for you good folks that somehow found out that we're live. Are we opening the phones? I don't know.
I didn't think we did bathroom breaks on marathons. I thought we had to hold it, dude. I got my pee bottle right here.
Listen, if I had a bag of... no, we definitely need to do a break here. We already skipped one. Who is this? Your name blends right into the back. Oh, Elfman. Yes, we're definitely going to open up the phones. Absolutely, especially for you, my terrible joke-telling friend. Absolutely. And we'll be back here in just a few short... Jesus. All right, in just a few short minutes, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. We are somehow raising money for the Fringe FM, even though we're not on it. But go to www.fringe.fm if you like what's happening here, and go donate some money to the network. We really appreciate it, and we really could use it. But otherwise, yeah, we'll be back here in just a few short commercially minutes. Don't go anywhere, my friends.
KTLK Digital Broadcasting, the Fringe.FM, Napa Valley, California, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Tired of talking about the weather? No, Shift. Well, Shift Happens is here to fulfill your desires as you reach that point in life where you crave tantalizing conversation about reality, ufology, the occult, and the conspiracies within, while simultaneously finding yourself desperately in need of your very own theme music, which we've got plenty of that too. So be sure to tune in to Shift Happens every Friday night from 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on the Fringe FM. Because the weather sucks, and you need some theme music.
Ever seen an extraterrestrial? It can be hard to believe they exist unless you've seen one for yourself. What if I told you I've seen them my whole life, but have never had a witness who shared the encounter with me? Now, what if I told you I saw 4 of them, 2 with blue skin, and there are over 20 witnesses to this CE5 event? My new book, The Blue Beings, Visitation at the UFO Conference, documents actual accounts from real witnesses, many of which have gone on record to attest to this otherworldly reality. Be a part of the quantum paradigm shift that is taking place right now. Go to johnpolkmedia.com to get your copy of The Blue Beings, Visitation at the UFO Conference, on sale right now at johnpolkmedia.com. That's JOHNPOLK media.com.
This is Ronnie LeBlanc, author of Monsterland, Encounters with UFOs, Bigfoot, and Orange Orbs, and you're listening to Shift Happens on KTLK, the Fringe FM.
KTLK Digital Broadcasting. We rock the paranormal talk.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're back for the Fringe FM radiothon. I think we're on there. I don't know. Welcome back to Shift Happens here. Just another couple of extra hours of Shift Happens here. We've got our good buddy Jeff Renel here from eTalk.tv. And we'll get back to that in just a second. Real quick, do want to mention, first of all, thanks for all of you guys that actually showed up in all these chat rooms despite the... Listen, I just want to say this. Everybody here at the Fringe FM worked very hard to make this thing come together. And, every once in a while, some things, push the wrong button or something doesn't... You might actually push the right button, and it still doesn't happen. So, it's all good. But you guys still made it here anyway. And, yes, according to your requests, we will open up the phone lines during the last segment, but we're a little ways from there, so we'll see. We'll see, but I would like to invite you guys to, so this August 16th in Austin, Texas. That's right. If you listen to my show, you know that I'm about to move back to Austin. And a few days after that, on the 16th, the whole Anti-Ed crew is coming together, and we're going to go see Kill Tony at the Vulcan spot right there, just off 6th Street there. So if you want to come out, you don't even have to... You can just run into us, and then bam, you're in there. But do keep in mind, you have to buy your tickets 2 weeks in advance to go see Kill Tony. And let me just say this, you're either going to see the funniest stuff you've ever seen in your entire life, or you're going to be the most offended you've ever been in your entire life, and there is no middle ground there, folks. So if you are easily offended, you probably shouldn't show up. But if you can take a joke or two, we're going to have a grand old time on Monday, August 16th, downtown Austin. And go see Kill Tony. So go ahead and check that out. And definitely message me if you message me on Discord or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And you can just go to shifthappensradio.com to find all my accounts over there. And just let me know. It's going to be a big old fun time. So there you go. All right, so we're back with Jeff Renel. And I don't know. So we already, we could do some more rounds on all this UFO nonsense going on. I don't mean nonsense. There's obviously some kind of sense happening. Depends on who's providing the non part, according to your opinion. But I don't know, man. So one thing that maybe people don't know about you, because here's the thing. I do Friday nights, right? But here we are on a Saturday night with a bunch of people that for some reason they like to go out and have fun on Friday nights, which is kind of weird. You could just stay home and listen to my sexy voice on Friday nights, but they don't do that, do they? No. They stay in on Saturdays. So we've got a bunch of new listeners, and I don't think they know, Jeff, that you're actually a theta healer.
I am. Yes, that's one of my favorite things in life. And it actually has changed my life. It has helped me evolve and develop into the person I am today, and which is the person that I absolutely love. And that is one of the amazing things that it's done for me. It has taught me how to love myself. And I think that's a lot of our issues, is not understanding how to love ourselves correctly. Excuse me. Because, we come home late at night and we go to sleep, and right before we go to bed, we have to answer to ourselves every day. and a lot of the reasons why we're unhappy is because we don't realize that we have to answer to ourselves. And so theta healing has made me understand and made me see how I wasn't answering to myself, how I wasn't giving myself the energy that I needed. Because of the way society has taught me, I was giving my energy away freely to people around me and stuff. And it wasn't the way my spirit and my soul wanted to live life. And so it made me very unhappy. And so through theta healing and understanding subconscious programs, beliefs, it has taught me how my programs were working with inside me, and gave me that ability to be able to not only see it, but start to change them and to create the person that I truly wanted to be, who my spirit truly is inside me. And it's been an amazing experience. It's definitely changed my life in a huge way. It gave me a huge understanding of existence. I'm constantly on the search to understand existence even more. But it gave me the answers I truly I came into this lifetime looking for. It's been amazing. It's opened up my, we can call them psychic abilities if you want to, but they're just normal senses. They're nothing special. Everybody has them. We've just kind of tuned them off, and it's because it goes back to our subconscious beliefs and stuff. It's truly, we shut off our psychic abilities ourselves. This is what I see, and that's mainly because we're not, with what's going on in our society where we're at, we emotionally can't handle not only looking at our own selves, but we have a hard time looking at other people. And because of that reason, we have truly tuned out our subconscious and our I just lost the word I was looking for. Our psychic abilities. We've tuned them off because basically we can't handle it at this moment in time. But we are going back into that evolution. We are evolving, and we are getting back to that place to where we are going to be able to clear our emotions and stuff and be able to get back into our psychic abilities. But again, everybody has them. It's a natural thing. It's just learning to retrust yourself and tap back into them.
Beautiful. Just responding to hey, what's up, Dragon Rose? No, I don't think either one of us are going to be at the MUFON this August at the Marriott, are we?
Where's the MUFON at?
At the Marriott.
Yeah, but what city?
Good question. I already said no for the both of us in the chat room, but we might both be at, I don't know if they've announced this yet or not, but Conscious Life Expo is doing a surprise conference this September, and awesome. I'm definitely going to be there. What about you, Jeff? Do you think you're going to out there at the Hilton LAX right there?
I would like to, because I actually have never been to that conference, and I've been wanting to go the last few years. So I really would like to, but I doubt I'm going to. I'm getting ready to make another big trip. I'm going to take a week off and go meet Brad, and I believe Eric will be joining us as well too. Michael Jaco will be there as well again, but we're going to go meet up for the Mount Shasta conference towards the end of August here. I apologize to whoever's holding that conference, but I don't know the exact name of it. But I've already bought my tickets. I'm going to meet Brad out there. We're going to hang out for the conference, and then afterwards we're going to go venture around Mount Shasta and see if we can find any entrances into the UFO bases.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Absolutely. Conscious Life is September 17th. And if you want, I got a free pass for you, buddy. If you want to come out there. In fact, you don't even really need the pass, honestly. You just kind of, hang out in the smoking section, really. That's where all the...
Isn't that where we're usually at?
That's
Even
where all the
smoke.
magic happens. And, sometimes Jimmy rents out the whole the whole entire restaurant, and that's a thing too. But no, so apparently it's actually in Vegas. The other one, there's MUFON from August 27th through the 29th at the Marriott in Vegas. So I take that as a no.
Yeah, because that's the one we're going to be up in Mount Shasta. Otherwise, I would make sure I'm there. I mean, that's Vegas. That's my home.
Right. And so, by the way, are you still, you still rocking and kicking out there in Utah? Is that where you're?
Yeah, I love it out here, man. There's too much stuff to do. I don't get enough done. Yeah, but it's great. I have a great time. Especially, a couple weeks ago, like I was mentioning before, me and Brad made it out to the Skinwalker area and hung out there for the weekend. And so I'm loving it out here. There's all kinds of cool little things to go do and investigate. And so I'm just kind of getting started to know this area. So I'm having a good time. And there seems to be a lot of UFO activity out here.
Yeah, man. And, speaking of which, here comes the Night Stalker saying that he thrives in the smoking sections. By the way, when I say Night Stalker, I mean, like stalking groceries stalker, not, stalking your daughter at 3 a.m. stalker. No, STOCKER. And, man, I've been trying to get him on the show for 17 months. He's never available. Apparently, he's available right now at 12:18 a.m. Good for you, Night Stalker. Get a Friday off.
I like that name, though. That's awesome.
No, it's a good name. It's a good name. He totally owns it, too. And we just made Lily from Australia cry from saying that. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. So, oh wait, hold on. Friday. Yeah, I know. Fridays are tough. Yeah, okay. I hear excuses before. Oh, good thing my mouse just stopped working. That's fantastic. We'll see if that comes back in a little bit here. But
the fun for tonight.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I don't know if you know, but me and the other Brad Harris, planning a little trip to Catalina Island with Eric, Awakening Man, and not Scott, but Nick. Well, I guess Scott too, right? So if Nick's gone, Scott's probably going to be there, right?
Well, Scotty's a papa now, right?
He's a what? He's a whatin'?
He's a papa. So his adventuring days have slowed down quite a bit at this moment.
That's right. I heard about that. Oh, congratulations.
But he's itching to get out because he was pretty upset that he didn't get to go with us out to Skinwalker. So, yeah, he's itching to get out for sure.
Congratulations to him.
But
that's awesome.
I want to hear more about this, man. I mean, because I want to go. I already got a buddy that we can charter his boat out there too.
Yeah, well, that was, even though we didn't let you know, that was actually part of the plan. We knew that you had that connect, so we we actually planned that as part of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, because I know a couple of things about Catalina Island, right? Like but I know that there's a lot of other. So how about this? In your opinion, from what you've heard, what is out there at Catalina Island? I know there's some supposedly giant skeletal remains, right? There might also be some Bigfoot stuff going on up there, but what else? What else? I know there's other things, right?
I didn't know that at all. Actually, that's news to me. What I knew about Catalina Island was just the UFO activity that is there, which is pretty rampant from what I've understood. Matter of fact, one of those Air Force videos came out of that area over there. I'm not sure exactly which one. I want to say it's the Tic Tac one, but I'm not 100% sure. But one of those came out of that area out in the Pacific over there. So, and that's why I would like to charter a boat and go out in that area. I think that would be very interesting to do. But yeah, all I know it for is the UFO activity. So you're talking giants and stuff, then that sounds like fun to me. I'm down.
Yeah. It should be fun. I think we're going to have a boat booked to actually take us out there. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm surprised nobody told you about this.
Well, I know me and you have talked about this a couple of times throughout the past, but yeah, I didn't know you guys were planning something together already.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have to do that. Oh, and there goes Elf Man. All right, good night, Elf. Enjoy your Oreos. And come up with some more Justin Bieber jokes as soon as you can, buddy. Good night to you. Appreciate you.
Elf is eating Oreos. I thought he had to have the Keebler cookies.
That's actually, you're the first time anybody's ever actually said that. Yeah, he should be eating Elf cookies, actually, but no, he's sort of, he was adopted by the Oreo people, so he's like kind of an elf, but he's more of a Oreo cookie kind of guy. Oh, that's right. Okay, a couple of people were asking if we wanted to open up the phone lines. But I'll tell you what, let's not do that yet. Because we're going to take another commercial break in about 7 minutes here. So when we come back, maybe we could do that. But, you, Jeff, being an all-terrain conversationalist, I do want to just switch it up and go down a whole different direction. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here's my question to you. Who the bleep built Göbekli Tepe? What happened there? Who built that?
That's a good question. And truthfully, I don't know what I could answer on that. I don't know enough about that place yet. So I really couldn't answer that at all. I just think there's a lot of interesting as far as the scalp. Yeah, I'm having a hard time talking now. It's getting late, I guess. But the carvings on the stones out there are really amazing, because I think they do kind of tend to mirror some of the other carvings that they have out there. And so I think some of the other temples and stuff that we found out of there could have been made by some of the same people. So I don't know enough about, I can't even say the name of the place right now.
Yeah, but I don't know if you know, but I think, Night Stalker just happens to have time to type in the chat room, yet he's not available for the show. How dare you, my friend? But yeah, when it comes to Göbekli Tepe, one thing that's actually, even among mainstream archaeologists, is actually very well acknowledged, is the fact that the Göbekli Tepe site was actually buried in one fell swoop, intentionally. Like, we're not talking about a couple of guys with a couple of buckets over 10 years burying it. No, we're talking about somebody had a massive device and just covered it in sand all in one fell swoop. So what do you, like, how does that, like, in your wildest imagination, like, what are we missing? Like, what kind of civilization did that? And again, we're talking 12,000 BC.
That's a good question, and there's probably a couple different answers that could be there. One, were they preserving it for future people and to see that and understand what our history was? Was it being covered up because some other race or culture wanted to bury it and hide it from other people on this planet? It's a good question, and it's a very interesting one. I find that fascinating that it was buried in that way, because they know for a fact it was buried. It wasn't sand built up over time. And so I think it's a very interesting thing, but again, I don't know enough about that place to be able to give anybody any answers.
Yeah, so what do you think about, like, I don't know, what about Gudon Padang? That's, very legitimately dated back about 23,000 years ago. Or do you not know about that?
What place? Because you kind of broke up on me a little bit.
Oh, Gudon Padang.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that place. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Where is it located at?
Oh, that's over there in some part of, I don't know, audience, help me out. I'm pretty sure it's in the Philippines. I actually had a direct conversation with Graham Hancock, and he told me about that. Which, by the way, buddy, Mr. Graham, was supposed to come on my show 2 years ago. That didn't happen, did it? But yeah, still interesting though. There's not to mention that other place that was kind of I don't know, wishy-washy. Might not be a real place, but I guess the point is, because according to modern, when you go to school and you learn about, like, how history happened, right? You're kind of told, like, the earliest thing you're told is the Sumerians, right? And which is,
That's not in school though.
yeah, that's if you went to the right school, right? Most schools don't even tell you about that. But if you got lucky, you were told about the Sumerians. But that's only 3,000 to 5,000 BC. Yet here's Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 BC, and then there's Gudon Padang, like 23,000 BC. So I don't know about you, but I could be homeless and lost in the woods for 3,000 years. I would never in my life figure out how to ferment wheat. You know what I mean? That's not a thing that would happen. Much less build massive 50-ton stone, perfectly carved pieces of rock and set them on top of each other and build the pyramids of Egypt. Much less, I'd be lucky to catch like a cockroach to have for dinner. You know what I mean? So where does this all? So I guess my question is, what, like, I mean, obviously there's evolution involved, right? Like, we get a little bit smarter, right? From time to time, every once in a while somebody realizes, like, oh, you can actually eat the spider instead of killing it. Like, that happens once in a while, right? But but overall, it's like who and how? That's my question. Who and how? Did we really figure that stuff out for ourselves? Or did Moses sit in front of a burning DMT bush and got a bunch of great ideas from that? Or, did we get visited by a bunch of aliens? Like, what is it? Like, what happened? Like, obviously something happened. That's my point. Something happened to where we went from eating bananas and hitting each other over the head with sticks to, Elon Musk smoking joints in a car orbiting space. Something happened in between that. What do you think happened?
Well, I mean, I like the question, and that's something that would keep me up late at night. I would think about that exact same thing. How did we get to where we are today with everything that we know? I would think at some point throughout creation, some species had to start learning all of these things. And what a long, treacherous thing to try to taste each of the plants and things like that to find out which ones are medicinal, which ones will kill you. I mean, that would be the evolution of that. I think would be, millions and millions of years. And could a race even live through that? Because you would have to eat plants you have no clue about until you died. You know, you figure out, oh, Johnny just died there. Don't eat that plant again. And then so you'd have to try something else. And when do you know? So that, you know, who knows how long it would take to understand and have that type of knowledge. So, I mean, again, it's a great, great question. I would think somewhere in time we would have had to evolve through all of that to have that type of understanding, to get to where you had the technology to start to really dissect and understand the biology of plants and minerals and different things like that. So I think eventually at one point it had to evolve that way. But when it comes to a lot of these planets now, and I will even say maybe even Earth, I think Earth's history goes way back deeper and way farther back than what we're being told or even understand at this point. So it could have happened here, but I truly believe by the signs and everything we see, I think some other type of being and race came here and has given us this information. And you look into the Chinese medicine and just acupuncture and stuff like that. There's way too much information, and I believe a lot of their culture talks about that coming from that type of knowledge coming from extraterrestrial race, or at least, you know, from their gods from the stars and stuff like that. So I think now, because the knowledge is there, that it's getting passed down. I think people are, other races and stuff are terraforming planets and stuff and giving that knowledge. And I think, like what we were talking about earlier in this show, why aren't they getting rid of us? Why do they have an interest in us? And I think this is probably why, is because they're helping us, manipulate us in a way, and still allowing us to have our free will in that same sense. But I definitely believe that they're here giving us information, some other race, because we know way too much about our bodies, different plants and stuff like that to, I think, evolve in what's the time frame we're working with now, about 6,000 to 10,000 years. So that's my thought on it.
Yeah, and what's funny is, after all those thousands of years, people finding mushrooms, right? And turns out, like, they all kill you, right? The only one that doesn't kill you, very ironically, with the humor of the universe, the one that grows from cow crap, that's the one that doesn't kill you and actually, shows you what's going on. So I wonder how many innocent people died eating regular mushrooms off of trees, and then this one crazy moron was like, oh, the first thing that comes out of cow crap, there we go. But if you really don't know what you're to expect when you first take mushrooms, you probably are thinking you're dying when you take the mushrooms like that. Especially, how do you know how much to eat? Oh my God, I have a whole nother minute on that, but we do have to cut to a commercial break, the last commercial break of my spot, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go ahead and take that now. You're listening to Shift Happens here on the Fringe FM during the Fringe FM radiothon. We have our guest tonight, Jeff Renel, and we'll be back here in just a few short minutes. And if you're lucky, if you behave enough, we might open up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll be right back here in just a few short commercially minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Are you thinking about creating a podcast but don't know where to start? Do you really want to have to learn all this stuff? Individual track processing, enhance and improve sound quality, edit out those awkward pauses and slips, mix multiple clips and tracks, fix and balance noise levels and perfect volumes, deliver consistent sound, live podcast production, show notes and SEO optimization, episode upload to hosting, live call screening, balance levels and loudness measure broadcast standards, full branding packages, logo design, podcast site, website, show artwork, video and audio production. Got to do video because everybody's doing video, branded video graphics. Or do you just want to get on the mic and get your ideas out there? The Fringe FM team is here to help with all of your podcasting, audio and video production needs. From simple podcast to audio enhancement, our professional production staff will make it easier than ever to create the podcast you desire.
The biggest thing is time. A lot of people that podcast don't have time. Time is like a really valuable currency next to cost. It's even more important than money. Why waste your time doing all this stuff? This is what we can do for you. Think about like the hours and the money you're gonna have to put into doing all this by yourself. Doesn't make sense. It's gonna take you months to launch. If we did it for you, we could do it tomorrow.
Visit thefringe.fm, join our team, and get jump started on your podcast today.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
This is Jess Rogie, host of the Rogie Report, and you're listening to the Fringe FM, KTLK, Digital Broadcasting.
Hi, folks. These uncertain times can cause uncertain gut slowdown. Worry and fear can wreak havoc on our digestion, making it hard to feel optimum. Bloating, less energy, and occasional constipation can slow you down in your daily activity. Try Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. Life Change Tea can help get things moving so you can get that boost of energy you need. Life Change Tea helps protect and defend your health from intruders. It's a weird time right now with all the uncertainty, so gear up and defend your health. Where do you go to purchase? Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. The specials are on the front page, and we have numerous supplements to help combat intruders. It's time to take charge of our health and to feel better in life. It's time to live. Again, GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. It is so worth it. GetTheTea.com.
I'm Dave Cruz of Beyond the Strange. You're listening to KTLK Digital Broadcasting. This is The Fringe FM.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Hey, Fringe listeners, Dave Cruz here, reminding you that Beyond the Strange airs live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Fringe FM. BTS is your one-stop shop for the paranormal, the bizarre, and most of all, the strange. Join me and co-host Black Sky Paranormal's Russ Bailey as we discuss topics such as aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, and much more. Also, we talk with profound guests, authors, researchers from all over the world, and we take your calls live on the air. Go to beyondthestrange.com and learn more about the show, guests, times, free registration for our newsletter, merch, and much more. Again, that's Beyond the Strange, Monday evenings, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on KTLK Digital Broadcasting, The Fringe FM. And as always, stay strange.
KTLK Digital Broadcasting. We rock the paranormal talk.
This is Tom Sherman. Down here at Banning College, we're promoting a blood drop. Oh, shit.
Welcome to the Sound of America. Music to AM 580. Lay back, the sheep, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
So Adam the apple. God be so to my face! You cannot be saved. Follow me and I will. Good to know that he's walking with me. Big rock as a weapon. The devil is a black stone. True. Into the fog. Let him cast the first stone. Jesus, Jesus. And you have fallen into the love that needs to be discerned by the Lord. Hallelujah, y'all. I want to hear a couple of hallelujahs.
Life's a study of dying. How to do it right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM, for the Fringe FM radiothon. That's right. We've got another segment here to go, and our guest tonight is Jeff Renel from eTalk TV. How's it going, my buddy?
Going great, huh?
It's all going somewhere, right? And also a special shout out to all of you people that showed up in both of the chat rooms despite of the technical difficulties. You still found your way here, so thank you very much. We really do appreciate that. And we were gonna open up the phone lines, but honestly, I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys let us know in the chat room. Do you want to call in? If you do, let me know. If you don't, we'll just not do that. Although, actually... you know what? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. If, we'll just open up the phone lines anyway. How about that? But you only get the number if you're in one of the chat rooms. Listen, somebody's gotta push you to do that. Here comes Lily. Oh, Jesus. She's talking about something else. All right. Well, so we're back with Jeff Renel. So what else? We've already, we covered the UFO stuff and a little bit of the lost civilization kind of stuff. But other than those things, because I don't know if people know this about you or not, but you actually, you kind of cover everything, like nothing's off limits when it comes to Jeff Renel. So with all the obvious stuff out of the way, what else is what else are you wondering about? That's what I want to know.
What am I wondering about?
Yes.
The thing that I have moved to now, because I understand why I'm here, is how did consciousness start? Consciousness is my big thing. That's the one thing I love. I think existence, period, is just consciousness. It is just a big dream, illusion, whatever you want to look at it. And so I'm curious, how did that start? How did that spark of intelligence just start? Because I understand how this is here, but and why I'm here, but that's one thing that I'm very curious about now.
Well, surely you're familiar enough with what's his name, Miyamoto, or oh no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Mario guy. No, but there's a guy in Japan who did a bunch of very badass studies. You know what? I think we talked about this last time you were actually on the show. So there's when it specifically comes to water molecules, if you intend and project a certain type of energy, it actually forms a very specific shape. For example, if you say "I love you" and you project that feeling, these water molecules crystalline into a very specific shape that only resonates with that. And you can also do the opposite. You can say "I hate you," and it turns into a weird, terrible, misshapen shape. So that's very interesting, huh? Because not only does that tie into consciousness, right? But that actually ties into very deep quantum mechanics and quantum physics, actually, in itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And that's where it makes this whole universe fascinating, to see something like that and realize that, and I like what you said, projecting your feelings, because we've talked about it a bunch of times. For me, it's all about feelings. Your thoughts and everything are great, but your thoughts just are in my moon, it moves the feeling. Okay, it helps us get the feeling across. But the feeling's the big thing, and so we can project our feeling into a lot of things, and it's going to change the molecular. I can't talk now, it's getting late, but the structure of everything. So yes, our feelings create a big difference in our whole world. And so just looking at it alone, you need to look at yourself and what kind of feelings are you projecting out there? Because we are 78% water. And so if your body holds that much water, what are your feelings and what are you projecting into your own body? In your own temple. And so this is where you really got to understand your feelings and everything and how you're creating in your own life. But exactly how we can project these feelings into water, we can project it into anything. And we are truly projecting our feelings out into space and out into the galaxy and universe. Our heartbeat, I forget how fast it goes now, but it goes like 100,000 miles and less than one heartbeat. And so that's our feelings projecting out. It's projecting out in that wave. And so it's telling the rest of the universe exactly how we feel, and vice versa. So we're constantly, and this is, again, goes back to the psychic energies that we have, these abilities, these senses, we're reading constantly. So our heartbeat is pushing out, like my heartbeat is pushing out exactly what I feel out into the universe. And so the other souls and spirits out there are actually feeling and absorbing it. That's why when somebody walks into a room, we all of a sudden can figure out, hey, what kind of mood is this person? And especially if you're sensitive to your own feelings, you'll be able to feel what somebody else is feeling. So, I mean, there's been plenty of times, I'm sure, in everybody's life out there, listening out there, that you felt that energy when somebody's walked in, that they've either been happy or they've been sad. And we can feel that when we're paying attention. And so it's an amazing thing to look at, to know that we project in this way. Because in a lot of things that I like to teach and what I've learned is about giving your energy and taking and giving energy. And so this is a big thing about that, understanding how we're doing this and what it's doing and what our thoughts and feelings are doing to the people around us. Did I get kind of carried away there?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people, you know, they feel victim to you know, their surroundings, which I guess could be the case, right? Sometimes, but
well, society has taught us that, to be that victim. You know, victim is just for that experience and stuff like that. We're not a victim, but you know, if you feel like you're a victim, truthfully, it's coming from you. That's the way you view the world. And it goes back into these subconscious programs and understanding those. And you need to be able to work and develop and work on that so you don't feel like a victim, because it's truly you projecting that out into the universe.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, sometimes or maybe a lot of times, you know. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. All right, let's see. Have you seen the Mr. Coswell? No, I have not. I don't have time to read the rest of that, but I'm sure it's good. Yeah, I don't know. There's, I don't know. I think you'd agree, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, it really, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, there's...
Well, you know what? Let's go back to the water, because what I think's interesting, and I'm not sure if we talked about this before on the last show. I just know I've talked about this with somebody recently. With what you're saying there, and what I think it's Dr. Emoto or something like that did these studies with the water.
Yeah.
And what and if you haven't seen these studies, definitely look them up on YouTube, Rumble, wherever you can find them, because the studies go even deeper into water. And it's really, really amazing, to where you can almost see your thought patterns changing the structure of the water almost instantly. So it's fun stuff to look at. But one thing I was looking at with it, and I'm curious about, is I wonder if this is why our water goes to the treatment plants, not only to filter our water a little bit, but maybe to take the intelligence out of our water. Maybe they're bleaching our water and doing all this stuff to take the intelligence out, because it is a known fact that when the water is traveling downstream, the water actually has more knowledge in it at the bottom of the stream than it does at the top of the stream, because it's constantly gathering information out of the earth, out of the universe, and stuff like that. And so I think that type of information, once you drink that water, starts to feed the soul and the spirit.
You know, it's well, absolutely, yes. But there's also the other, you know, school of thought, you know, where you know, you manifest what you think, right? And which I guess is true on some level, right? But at the same time, it's like, man, if you actually understood that, you know, it's not just feelings, it's not just vibes, it's actually literally like on a water molecule level. Like, you're actually shaping the molecule that affects your feelings and affects your vibes. It affects how you interact with the world. And that's why I think, again, I don't mean to sound, you know, I forgot his name, but was it Miyamoto or...
That, or is it Miyamoto, something like that?
I don't know. Either that's the guy, or he's the guy that invented Mario. One or the other. It's one of those two. But yeah, no, it's actually very, you know, because we always have that idea of like, well, you know, you kind of, you know, you create your own little circumstances, you know, but But when you really think about it, especially with guys like, let's just, for the sake of example, let's say his name is Miyamoto. I think it is Miyamoto, actually, now I think about it. I don't know. But the split second that you understand that you can rematerialize your, whether it's on a molecular level or whether it's on a bigger level than that, it's you could have the most terrible influences in the world, but it really comes down to you. Like, are you gonna accept that, or are you gonna create your own, your own vibration, if you will? And I think everybody is capable of doing that. It's just that so many people are just, they're just surrounded by not the best influences, and they don't know how to think otherwise, but if you really sit down and you really understand, that you can actually, resonate on a specific frequency that actually, well, I'll just end it at that.
Well, you're 100% right, and we should have started out the show with this topic instead of finishing the show with this topic here.
We should have.
But you are 100% right. You are the creative energy of all that is. Where you put your energy, where you put your focus is what you will create. You create everything in your life at every given second, whether you realize it or not. But when you start to understand how you manifest, how you create your life, then you have some choices and control over it. When you don't understand it, you're manifesting everything, and it's all usually the negative feelings that you're manifesting, because that's what you give more energy to. But it is 100% correct. You are creating everything in your reality, the way you feel about it, the way you put your energy to it. You're creating all of this, and this is what we need to master. This is what we need to learn, and that's it. Truly, I believe it's learning about how to love yourself. And when you learn how to love yourself, that's when you truly learn how to open up to all of these different things. And you realize, one of the big epiphanies to me was realizing that I was creating all this stuff. It was, holy shit, did I really create all of this mess in my life? It was a really eye-opening experience, but then at the same moment, it was like, oh, wow, I did create all this. And if I created all this, what can I start to create now that I know? And let me tell you, since I've started to understand that, my whole world has changed and become just this beautiful, pleasant thing to live in. I still have bumps and, ups and downs in life and stuff, but all in all, I can say the last 10, 15 years, my life has never, ever been happier. And it truly was what I focused on. And that's what's happening with everybody.
Well, that's why everybody needs to check out your show. What is it over there at eTalk TV? Are you back doing that, or?
Yeah, I've been putting them together because I think me and you talked about before. I'm working with a couple other friends of mine that we had a show together a while back. And so we have been in talks and doing meetings, putting that one back together. And so that's helped energize me to get some of the stuff done for not only eTalk, but I do another one called Consciously Rising, which I actually started before eTalk. That's my spiritual one, where I like to bring in spiritual people to enlighten us on stuff like what we were just talking about here. But it covers all kinds of different things. So I'm very excited to get going on both of those again. Me and Brad, as we talked about, just were up at Skywolf Research overlooking Skinwalker for the weekend. And so I got some footage there. I'm going to make a little clip out of that for eTalk. But me and you were talking about a project I might be getting into and we might be working together with. I'm hoping we are, but of course we'll have to put things on paper and make sure it makes sense before we go and tackle it.
Right.
But yes, there's a few things that I got going on with E-Talk. I'll definitely be filming the stuff that we're doing out at Mount Shasta on that fun adventure. So there's going to be some things happening with E-Talk. I'm going to try to be doing more on the scene research type of filming for E-Talk. But I will be doing some interviews to help support what I'm doing out there in the research. And then also I will be getting some stuff back out with Consciously Rising, which that tells me I want to also talk to you, because I'd like to bring you on Consciously Rising and have you as a guest on Consciously Rising, if you don't mind, one of these days.
Well, absolutely. Yes, that'll be great. And ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Renel, you can follow him at Utah TV and everywhere else. And but we do have to go right this very now, because coming up next is well, somebody. This thing is still going. This thing is still going. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing this Fringe FM telethon for so many more hours. So thanks for all of you that actually went out of your way to come and listen here, out of your way. So we really do appreciate that. Thanks again to Jeff Renel, and just find him at Jeff Renel. And with that, we have to run right this very now, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a little spot of Shift Happens here for the Fringe FM. This show is hosted and produced by yours truly. Co-host of the evening was, well, actually not there. That's right. The guest was Jeff Renel. Music by Queens of the Stone Age and Eagles of Death Metal, and just a little sprinkle of Don't Mind Us. Thanks for tuning in, but don't go too far, because coming up next is pretty sure Joe Root. I'm not sure though. I hope it is. I don't know. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back next week with my... You know what? I'm not even going to announce it. How about that? We've had some bad luck with that. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the Fringe FM radiothon, and we will see you guys sooner than later. All right, folks. Cheers to you. God bless you.
Peace out, everybody.